So the advice I give
Mm-hmm.
to a lot of juniors, I do a lot of portfolio reviews for college, high school students too, and I always say the personal project is probably the biggest differentiator between being a good artist and becoming an excellent one. And there's a few reasons for that. Because one, you're in charge of the whole vision.
Right.
Two, you're probably picking something that you love or you are interested in or you like. So you're going to be motivated that way. Um, but more, it shows people how you think in your process, and you're not just executing part of a vision or a client's vision,
Mm.
or someone's coming to you saying, here, just do this, and you're just spitting it out. And then that's how you learn how to create images on your own, because you're not having people telling you what to do or the creative motivation behind it or giving you the concept, and you're just executing. So it's hard to start doing those, especially early in your career, because like I said, you're still trying to learn all the technical stuff. You're trying to learn the hows, and not so much concentrating on the why, which is usually the personal project. But I would say for sure to always keep trying those, because the more and more of those you do, the better you'll get. It's sort of the practice, like in sports, you just don't pick up a basketball and then go to the NBA, like the
Yeah.
first day you pick it up. So it's the same thing. You have to kind of start.
Quick break. This video is brought to you by HDR Light Studio, the fast and easy way to light your 3D scenes. Works with 3ds Max, Blender, Cinema 4D, Maya, Modo, and many more. Visit www.lightmap.co.uk to find out more.
And then the other thing is, when you're doing these projects, is don't spend so much time worrying about the thinking or the concept behind it. Sometimes people will try to brainstorm and come up with the best concept possible before they actually start working. My advice is to just do a list of concepts and just pick one and jump in and start doing it. Because I find once you're in the creative moment and you're creating and things are happening, that's usually when sort of those little sparks of moments of magic happen. Because you're in there doing stuff, and then you might see something that you're like, oh, well, that's a little bit different, or it might swerve you away from your concept, but it's taking you down a road that's even better, or that you recognize as better. And you would never have found that out if you were just sitting there trying to, brainstorm the concept. It's more of it's better to do than to think, sort of philosophy. And it took me a while to learn that. I used to think, I have to have the perfect concept and have it all thought out before I get started. And sometimes it's better to just do it. I know a lot of photographers who they have an idea, but they'll just get in studio and sort of play, and same thing. Like all of a sudden they're like, oh, wait, I didn't, that turned out pretty interesting. I didn't even think of that. And those moments would never happen if you didn't just jump in and start doing it. So that would definitely be my number one advice to even senior artists who are sort of finding themselves in a rut, or they're stuck executing other people's ideas. Like, get out and take on a personal project and sort of see how that feels, and get out of your comfort zone. And sometimes you'll just create things that you weren't expecting to create. And a lot of it's a fear factor too for people, they let the fear make their decision to not do things sometimes, or they're afraid to get started. And sometimes just getting started alleviates that fear, because then you get into the moment and you're like, oh, I'm doing this. I can kind of do this. You might fail, it might be miserable, but at least you got moving. And then the next time it just becomes easier to do it. And then it just kind of snowballs. So each time you do it, it just gets a little bit easier, and then it gets a little bit better too. So
Definitely.
that would be my advice. Yeah.